Right now at noon, authorities in Joplin charge a man in critical condition for his role in a home invasion.
We've had mostly sunny skies for our Tuesday across the 4 states. Also, above average temperatures hanging around. Take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, we learn more about the Lubbock County homicide investigation as the victim's friend speaks out.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, a home invasion burglary leaves the man who broke in clinging to life in critical condition after the victim fights back with a kitchen knife. On Monday, September 25th at approximately 1:42 a.m., the Joplin Police Department received a 911 report of a first-degree burglary at a home near 11th Street and Moffett Avenue in Joplin. An adult female caller reported her ex-boyfriend, along with an accomplice, broke into her home and assaulted her boyfriend. During the assault, the victim retrieved a knife and used it to defend himself. The first suspect, who is identified as Alexander E. Freer, age 31 of Joplin, and is the ex-boyfriend of the victim, is currently in critical condition at Freeman Hospital. Freer is currently in police custody and charges are being forwarded to the Jasper County Prosecutor's Office for burglary in the first degree and assault in the third degree. The second suspect, identified as Jesse L. Albright, age 28 of Orongo, Missouri, was found walking on foot near 32nd Street and Indiana Avenue and was taken into custody without incident. He has been charged with burglary for the first degree and assault in the third degree. Authorities in Lubbock County investigate a woman's death they say was a homicide. KOAM's Elise Snowy has more.
On Sunday afternoon around 2:30 p.m., police officials were notified by a hunter about a woman's body that was discovered laying alongside the Farmers Road, a half-mile west of Ness and 20,000 Road. The woman has been identified as Kylie Caldwell of Parsons, who was last seen alive Sunday morning. Caldwell, who was 28, leaves behind 3 sons. Her friend Benita Luton had a special bond with Caldwell and a friendship lasting over a decade.
I met Kylie whenever I was like 13 or 14. I used to go to her grandmother's house with her.
Luton shared memories about Caldwell's joyful spirit.
We just always had fun. It was always enjoyment, always laughter. It was never a dull moment with her.
At this time, the KBI, Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, and the Parsons Police Department are investigating the homicide.
We're still interviewing people. At this point, we do have a person of interest that we're talking to.
Investigators are still looking for more information, but an arrest could be made soon.
Yeah, hopefully we will have somebody arrested in the next day or so.
As investigators move forward, friends and family of Caldwell are still wondering why.
I just don't understand who or why. All I know is that I hope that whoever did this, they find out who did it.
If you have any information relating to this investigation, call the KBI at 1-800-KS-CRIME. In Parsons, Elise Snowy, KOAM News.
You can also send an anonymous tip to kbi.ks.gov/SAR. We will keep you updated as the story unfolds.
Well, we've got mostly sunny skies across the area this afternoon. We got clear skies. There's been a few passing clouds here and there, but otherwise not too bad. However, our temperatures remaining above normal. In fact, take a look at yesterday. Started at 59, so not far off of where we're supposed to be. But that high yesterday of 87, just a few degrees off of a record. And unfortunately, because we have stopped seeing rain, we were 1/100th of an inch above normal for September. We're now just over 1/10 of an inch of rain below normal for September. But more rain will eventually be on the way, but not anytime soon, unfortunately. We got 83, Yates Center, Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, down into Joplin as well. We've got 80 in Pittsburgh, Lamar, 82 in Carthage, Miami, Neosho, Anderson, 81, Monette, Nevada. So we're all out out there in the 80s, but as we mentioned, from this point westward, a little bit warmer. So it's not an exact line, but Sedan at 86, 85, and Independence 86 in the water. And those are locations that are very likely going to get pretty darn close to, if not right at 90. So well above where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. As we head through the evening, still hanging on the clear skies, though. Temperatures falling back gradually through the 70s toward midnight. So what we're keeping an eye on, we got the few clouds today, the above average temperatures, a stray shower or two possible tomorrow. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And as mentioned, some areas could continue to reach near 90 degrees. We'll have a full look at your forecast and how long this warm weather does hang out here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, parents in the Joplin School District are frustrated the buses are still arriving late. The Transportation Department has been experiencing bus driver shortages since the start of the school year. Due to the shortage, some bus riders are stuck after school way long after dismissal.
And there are certain things you're supposed to trust, right? You trust your school system and you trust your transportation system that you pay for out of your taxes, and you trust them to get these things done in a timely manner for you and not excuses, right?
And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, AI is transforming nearly every sector of our economy. Now the government is stepping in to make sure it's being used appropriately. And later, we're making stuffed chicken roll-ups in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. We're on day 12 of the UAW strike, and politicians are heading to the picket lines.
Support for striking UAW workers is coming from all over. Over the weekend, Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush brought New York Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to town to show their support.
You want some water, sir?
Today, Republican Senator Josh Hawley passed out water on the picket line, declared he's in 100% support of the workers.
Here's the bottom line. The company CEO of GM makes like $30 million a year. I mean, these guys, increasingly, they can't afford to buy the cars that they make.
But what will be the cost of the strike? The first will be felt at local dealerships after the strike expanded to parts distribution centers.
It's a major hit to us. So
For local dealerships?
For local dealerships and customers alike, because it's going to be hard to get your car serviced. So we won't have all the parts that we need.
Don Brown of Don Brown Chevrolet said a prolonged strike will shrink the supply of new cars, so expect to pay sticker cost. And dealerships will sell more used cars, but demand will drive up their prices too. As far as the union's demand, the Economic Policy Institute says from 2013 to 2022, profits for the big three automakers rose 92%. CEO pay jumped 40%, but worker pay fell 19% because of the rise in inflation. The UAW says a 46% pay increase will only add 2% to the cost of a new vehicle. Ford's CEO said a 40% hike would put them out of business. No one believes that, but whatever pay hike workers get, Brown said it will be passed along.
They're paying more for labor. They're paying more for, for building the car. The price of the car goes up.
Senator Hawley's response to price hike concerns: the companies can't afford it.
Why don't they take a cut in CEO pay and maybe, a few less stock buybacks?
In artificial intelligence, it's the future, whether you're ready or not for it. But as technology is advancing at rapid speed, the state is now stepping in, trying to make sure the tool is used ethically and responsibly.
Yes, every day.
Well, I personally have never used AI. No, I have not.
Whether you have or haven't used AI, chances are you will.
This technology is everywhere, and it's sort of seeping its way into how we do things.
You might already be using it without realizing, like if you use a map on your phone, Google a question, scroll on social media, or even if you're calling customer service or buying a shirt online.
I think it's endless. I think we can use it for everything. I think we can use it for development. We can use it for even simple jobs.
Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming nearly every sector of our economy.
AI is here to stay.
And that's why Governor Shapiro is trying to get ahead of it by signing this executive order to establish responsible standards and a framework for how state agencies can use it best.
We don't want to let AI happen to us. We want to be part of helping develop AI here in the Commonwealth for the betterment of our citizenry.
The The executive order will establish a governing board to develop policies around AI and sets core values around privacy, security, and accuracy. There will also be training for state employees.
Part of the reason for getting our arms around it right now is to figure out ways of developing tools that can filter out the unwanted uses of this particular.
Palmer says as the state develops policies, it'll likely lead to legislation.
I think that using AI should probably be something that is monitored.
I think it would be tricky, especially with how fast these technologies are growing.
Charles Palmer with Harrisburg University says it will likely be up to both industries and the government to monitor the use of AI to make sure it's being used appropriately. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Say goodbye to boring dinners and hello to an easy way to impress your family and friends. I promise they'll be impressed.
But first, our temperatures continue to heat up through the week, even though we're in the first week of fall. We'll tell you how warm it's going to get, whether or not there's any rain on the horizon when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we are again looking at temperatures above average today. We are again looking at mostly sunny skies, and we are going to continue to see that trend across the area. Live look, MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin looking back to the north. No clouds visible from here. The only thing visible is the traffic and plenty of blue sky and sunlight. We're looking at the MoDOT camera down at US 60, Missouri 59 in Neosho. But this is Lusk Drive right here. This is the west. And as you can see, blue skies in abundance there. Now our camera here at the KOAM studios showing a few clouds, just a few out there. Otherwise, clear skies, plentiful sunshine, and the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th. Of course, as you know, it's pointed at the road. That's what it's supposed to do, so we can't see the sky, but with the sunlight, the shadows off the cars, it's presumable that we've got fairly clear skies. And same here from our camera at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. There is a little cloud right here, but otherwise clear skies. 83, a slight heat index of 84, southwest breeze at about 10 miles an hour. We head back to Pittsburgh, take a look at temperatures there. 81, feeling like 82, so not that big of a deal. You're not going to notice that, and if you do, let me know, because that would be really interesting to be able to tell that it's 82 versus 81. Southwest breeze at 7. Temperatures around the rest of the region. Take a look at this southwesterly breeze across here. You know what a southerly breeze means. It's ushering in warm weather. Out to the west, this is what we were talking about. 86 Sedan, Nowata, 85 in Independence. So we drew a line roughly from here west. It's not going to be a perfect line, but points west of there are definitely going to be a little bit warmer over the next few days. Everybody else, though, 80s. 82 in Fort Scott, Iola, 81 in Nevada, 82 Carthage, Neosho, 80 in Lamar right now, and 82 in Miami. As we head into the afternoon, we're going to continue to warm up, and this is what we talked about this morning. I've been using this little phrase. I kind of came up with it because it made the most sense, saying on the average, we're talking mid-80s for highs. And what I mean by that is, again, our friends further to the west could reach a little closer to 90 today. We might even see a couple of lower 90-degree readings out there under these sunny skies. And bear in mind, our average high is in the 70s. All of us well above average for this time of year. Clear skies persisting through the evening, dropping back through the 70s, and eventually in the low to mid 60s out there, with maybe a few clouds here and there. And then we look ahead into tomorrow, and it's a repeat. Just a few clouds, remaining warm, above average, still pushing near 90 in parts of southeast Kansas. And again, a couple of spots may even get to 91, 92. Southwest breeze 5 to 10 miles an hour. But on the average, we're looking at highs around the mid-80s. We head down the week, during the rest of the week. Here's the other thing, is I was talking about the on the average part of upper 80s heading into the weekend, which means those in southeast Kansas that are pushing a little closer to the 90-degree mark may go even further above. Now, we're not talking near 100 by any means, but we're talking maybe 93, potentially 94 degrees, as the rest of the area on the average reaches the upper 80s to near 90 through this week. Now, tomorrow, we've got a stray shot of a shower or two. Most of us are going to remain dry and partly cloudy. And you see, we just kind of bounce around and float around with these mostly clear to partly cloudy skies all the way through the weekend and into the beginning of next week. We still, though, are watching Possibility of some rain chances next week. Real quick, overnight lows mid-upper 60s. Of course, they'll warm up as our temperatures warm up. It won't be until we get till about Wednesday, Thursday of next week, and we could start to see a few isolated shower and thunderstorm chances. We've been watching Wednesday, not for severe weather at this point, just the chance for some rain has been there, continues to be there, which is great news because we need that rain. We are down into the lower 80s, upper 70s, though, as we head toward better chances of shower and thunderstorm activity next week. But between now and then, no rain in sight other than that stray shower or two tomorrow. So as we mentioned yesterday, if you've got things you need to do outdoors before we get into winter, which will set in as soon as we get to October, this week, good week to get that stuff done out there.
All right. So you're saying get that house painted.
Get your house painted, paint your window trim, pave the driveway, change the tires, anything you got to do outdoors. This week is going to be pretty decent to do that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Chris, and stick around because we're making stuffed chicken roll-ups in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food kitchen staff. Today he's turning ordinary chicken breasts into a favorite main dish. It's called stuffed chicken roll-ups. Take a look.
When it comes to making dinner, do you find yourself making the same few things over and over again? If you do, you're not alone. That's why today I want to share with you a fun way to make chicken that is super easy and is anything but boring. We start by pounding 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts until they're about 1/2 inch thick. You want to make sure you cover them with a sheet of plastic before pounding them so your kitchen doesn't get splattered. We spread each breast with a mixture we made by combining some softened cream cheese with a bit of pesto and roasted peppers. Now, we roll these up jelly roll style and secure them with a toothpick. To take these over the top, we coat them with some crushed cornflakes that we mix with some Parmesan cheese and a bit of paprika. When these come out of the oven, which by the way takes less than 30 minutes, are you ever in for a treat? You see, the outside is crispy crunchy and the inside is loaded with a pinwheel of cheesy goodness. To get the recipe for our stuffed chicken roll-ups, all you have to do is go online. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a spirally delicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4-state market prices.
All right, we're holding on to these well above average temperatures. Most of us into the upper 80s, pushing close to 90 as we head into the weekend. And some of us in southeast Kansas may go into the lower 90s, especially in our western counties. Maybe a stray shower or two tomorrow. Otherwise, most of us also staying dry.
Perfect. Sounds good to me. And what do you have for us tonight?
Well, a lot at 5. For starters, a study out of the UK shows the impact inflation is having on people's health. Researchers found death before the age of 75 is set to rise by more than 6%, which is 30% more deaths per 100,000 people due to a widening of the wealth gap. Plus, after 2 months, residents in Caney, Kansas are still restricted on water use, and McDonald County students get hands-on construction with a tiny home build. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, and that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.